So, what do you guys want to talk about?
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. Put out the caution tape. Put out the orange cones. Acknowledge me.
Hey everyone, and welcome to A Plus Wrestling here on KPHR Hamilton and on YouTube's at Hutch Henry's. Happy Canada Day. It is a scorcher, to say the least. We're your hosts. I'm Boris Roberto Aguilar, and as always, we have Hutch Henry's. Hutch, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I see that Scott Ainsworth is in the chat already, and he's like, it's 4:45 in the morning where he is, and he's just like, what the hell's going on? You guys are streaming? Yeah, it's Canada Day here in Canada. We're taking the afternoon where it is like only 3. Well, of course, we're late as usual, so it's like 3:15-ish. My chair is starting to squeak now, just in the last 2 weeks, and I'm starting to notice it on like everything I record. So I'm like, God damn it, and I got to figure out this chair squeak thing.
I noticed that last week.
I know. I'm like, sorry, Scott. I guess he was the only one probably watching.
No, we have a couple more. How do I sound? Because I can't really hear myself right now, which is probably the best thing ever. But
you sound robust and clear and nice. How do I sound?
You sound, well, apart from the squeaking, you sound beautiful.
It's really bad, eh? Like, okay, you know what?
It's noticeable.
Yeah, I know it just started. Like, it lasted a while. Well, you know what? Here, I'll lock the chair.
There we go. Oh,
okay, so
now it sounds like my knees.
Yeah, I guess so. I do have another thing here. It's not a chair. It's like a stool, but it's like a super stool. And dude, it goes high too. This is you know, you can raise your chair up and down. I have a stool that basically goes from like stool to like bar stool. It like the hydraulic on it is insane. Like sometimes I'm even years later, I'm still surprised. I'm like, oh, to the heavens.
I'm actually debating on getting a standing desk, just so like, especially sometimes these shows, right? I would rather do it standing up. Sometimes at work, too many meetings, just stand up. But
so I have a standing desk, but it didn't really like fit in here very well. And I have like right over here, I have a standing desk beside my main desk, but also in front of my main desk, I have a smaller desk because I like so I have like 3 desks all like together with my screens.
Yeah.
But this desk here, this little one, is very small. I can like, move it around. I have a desk that goes on top of it that also has hydraulics, so I can just lay it down and pop it up. So I don't have to like raise everything with my screen. It would be nice if my screen comes up, but I just got like a thing that like to attach to the wall where the screen goes up and down. So like it'll be happening soon. Cool. We're gonna be more effective.
As we should be. Look at that, Scott. 13 degrees, 25 millimeters of rain, as opposed to 39 degrees as it is as we record.
Yeah, it's pretty warm. Today's like a heated advisory last few days. Of course, like the devil's opened his anus across the entire planet. It seems like we can't even complain compared to some places. Imagine being in Europe where they've outlawed, like in Germany where you can't have it. You get like an air conditioner unless you're rich and you can like buy somebody off. But yeah, the rain. Don't talk to me about rain, Scott. It is
right. You're telling,
since September last year, it has rained like it hasn't gone like 4 or 5. This might be our longest stretch. It was supposed to rain last night and it didn't. And that was
supposed to rain the past few days, but luckily,
like I could see it like with the heat. Boom! It looks like it's going to rain right now, but there's none on the forecast
till Friday.
For like weeks till Friday. Really? Okay, that's coming and going, dude. It has been so long.
But it changes. But here's the thing: it changes every day. Like honestly, even a couple days ago, it was supposed to rain today, tomorrow. Which tomorrow would be a shitty day for it to rain, because for those of you who have been following the World Cup, we have a pretty big game here in Toronto at BMO Field. It's Portugal, Croatia. So the 905, the 416, going to be completely empty on Thursday.
Yeah, pretty nuts. But the rain never stops. A lot of shit around my house has been destroyed, and I kind of hate the World Cup. I live right by BMO Field, as you know.
Yep.
And so, yes, I loathe the World Cup with all of my being. I mostly loathe the World Cup when my boss says, "Hey, go home early." And I'm like, nice. And I get in my car and there's nobody on the highway's empty. I'm motoring home. I've left work like 3.5 hours early and my hour drive is now like 20 minutes. I'm like, what the hell? Boom, on my way. And then I pull just past, I guess you would know the city, since I guess there are people on the pod here that probably know the city. I get just past St. Joe's coming towards my place from out west. And it just suddenly stops. And it doesn't just slow down.
That hill, so on Queensway, that hill right after you pass St. Joe's, basically where King starts and Roncesvalles starts and all that shit.
You've already had your last opportunity to get onto Lake.
Yeah, exactly. It's always shit there.
It's not always shit, but it can be. I mean, I'm lucky because it's shit there all the way to Spadina usually. But I get off at Jameson, so I just got a little bit of shit, and then I'm like, wait, right? World Cup is making everything like super extra major shit. Like everything is done. I grind to a halt. Like slam my brakes like I'm gonna smash into the guy as I'm coming around. Like what the hell? It's like a wall of cars from like going pretty heavy. And I'm looking at my rear view. The guy behind me is like as well. I'm like, oh man. And we happen to be the people that got to the curve. Anyways.
And Joe, don't worry. St. Clair is going to be packed tomorrow. Toronto, people always have this weird misconception. Things don't get crazy until the knockout stages. So now that we're in the knockout stages, you're going to be seeing more and more of that stuff happening, especially tomorrow night with whatever happens at the Portugal-Croatia game. But yeah, it's going to be avoid St. Clair, avoid the 905, avoid the 416. Yeah. It's going to be crazy.
Well, my story's going on way too long. I'll get to the point. They shut down the Jameson exit. They don't tell it, like the GPS doesn't know.
Yeah.
And so I get there and I live right at the Jameson exit. Like my house. I'm like, there's my house right there. I can see it. And I have to stay bumper to bumper in the scalding heat all the way to Spadina and then try and turn around but they won't let you get back on to Lakeshore there because those are both closed. So you got to go up. Yep. Now I'm going on Queen and King home. Oh my God, dude. And like, this was the day that I was like, oh, I'll just grab some smokes on the way home because I ran out of cigarettes. So I'm in traffic in the heat. I have air conditioning, but I do have a 1997 Civics. And so it's like, it works.
Yeah. Gotta get you that number to my dad's mechanic. This guy's worked about miracles. I know we've talked about this.
Just the sun is pelting in through the window still. Doesn't matter that you're cold. You're kind of like, you're just like sizzling away. Anyways, dude, like I can't believe that they shut down that exit. Like it's the only way of getting off. And I'm looking at Lakeshore and Lakeshore's like not even moving at all. Like they've stopped Lakeshore.
Well,
for people
because Lakeshore, where British Columbia is, right? So like, just so that for those of you who don't know the city, our city wasn't built very well when it comes to getting in and out of the city. We have one highway that goes through it. That's about it. And a bunch of roads that may or may not connect to a highway, depending on the day. And then we go around the city. But to go through the city, there's like one or two ways to actually get downtown.
Yeah, basically, if you're in Toronto and you want to go east-west, you can do it. There's lots of ways of doing it. If you want to go north-south, the city's basically like, wait, you mean you want to go north from here? No.
Yeah.
we don't do that. I guess you can take Dufferin with everybody else, and you're like, all right, like, dude, it's like you cannot go north-south in this city.
Bloor. So I live at Bloor. Like Bloor and Ossington-ish. So basically from Ossington to Parkside, it's always hell. Like it's easier to walk.
Speaking of hell in a cell. I mean, there's so much wrestling to talk about. We probably shouldn't.
Yeah, we
about ourselves.
Exactly. We should. Yeah, but
there's so much wrestling.
There really is. We're going to be talking about everything that we watched throughout the weekend, what we liked, what we didn't like. We'll be talking about Raw. We'll be kind of talking about the state of stuff. Some breaking news from TNA.
We can go from SmackDown to SmackDown because they taped it after Raw for the July 4th to give everybody. So we even know the results of SmackDown. We have so
exactly. Much. We do. Breaking news for TNA front. As of right now, time recording, Eric Young was just released. Well, not released. He got granted his release from TNA.
Granted his release. So like he doesn't seem like an AEW guy. Like so like is this WWE like agent kind of thing? I can see that happening with him.
I can see that.
There are other companies out there. The MLWs, the NWAs. Like they might be. Eric's really great to sit and talk to.
I just remember he's a Triple H guy. He really likes Triple H, and
that's why first thing I said.
He has to leave WWE when Vince came back. So.
Yeah, and maybe the TNA thing's finally run out, so he's like, all right, it's time. And they've had the connection there. He'd be a great trainer. Eric is great to talk to. He's he knows what his body can do, what it can't. He knows like how to help other people with that. And he knows how to get over it. Yeah, like okay, this is a guy who's gone from a comedy act to a comedy act they gave main event status to a pseudo Daniel Bryan when they were like, we're gonna try and copy Daniel Bryan to like the grizzled, crazy. I want to say Stained, but that's not what were they called? Decay? No, that's wrong. That's the TNA one.
Grizzled Young Veterans? What?
No, what was his faction in NXT that fizzled on the main roster? With like all of them. They're all gone now, right?
Yeah, I know which one. Yeah.
Everything's on the
other one.
It's all on the tip of my
I know. It's
my
right
tongue,
here.
which I can't say either. So like, what's the girls? They just let her go. I'm like, oh, God, I can't believe I can't remember any of these names
Nikki
right
Cross?
now. They're all Nikki Cross, and then there was the big dude who was in TNA
Big
for a
Dano.
while.
They
Well,
got Big
Damo,
Dano
yeah.
and all those guys.
And Damo, they destroyed Damo. Almost like he could have just stayed on the British Indies and been fine. But they all got their paychecks. He was there for a while.
Exactly.
What was the big guy?
Sanity.
Sanity. There you go. Somebody typed it. Yes.
Alexander Wolf. No?
Alexander Wolf, dude, man, and like he should have been in like, dude.
And then remember
they
they
look
had
so
Madman
weird.
Fulton too. They had
That's
Madman
the guy
Fulton
I was trying
too.
to think of. Wow, I have like no brain today. What is going on?
Big Damo. It's the heat. It's the heat.
I'm like, no, I'm
okay.
like thinking of the next thing before I say the thing I'm saying. But yeah, so Eric Young, he can do that. I don't think he did well with Sanity. Like they didn't do as well as they could have. It was an NXT fizzle, but they did great down there. And he proves that he can be that as well. He can be a great leader. He can be a great like Bray Wyatt type crazy person. He can do whatever you give him.
Yeah, exactly. Which is that's fine.
I'm trying to remember. I think Eric Young told me
dude.
he didn't get a credit card till he was like 37 or something, or 38. And he didn't have like for most of his life, he had like no debts at all. He was just like, just fucking whatever. And finally he got one. He was like, he traveled so much. And then he was finally like, all right, I got a home. I can get a credit card now because I have like a home. I don't know. I'm trying to remember the story, but yeah.
He's a fun chat. He's a fun chat for sure. The other thing I don't know why I said that way. Sorry about that. The other thing, Joe Doring passed away last week. Pretty sad. Did you have any encounters with him?
Joe Doring? No, never. And like I only went to one of the Rebel shows for TNA, and I was chatting with Anthony a lot with like Santino, and I didn't actually watch Joe's match at the time because I was backstage, and it was the only time I ever was at a place where I could see him. I didn't see very much of him online. I saw some of his All Japan stuff. I checked out his title win when it happened.
Yeah,
but yeah, like never really got a lot of Joe Doring. Like he was the kind of guy where I was like, this guy's great. Hopefully he like shows up in my stratosphere of the wrestling that I regularly watch, so I don't have to seek him out. And it just never happened, really.
Yeah, I just had one interaction with them at an indie show here in Mississauga.
Oh,
it was right at the tip of the pandemic. It was an outdoor show, so it was scorching hot. And then after the show, it was like in a a plaza. And in the plaza, there were a couple places. There was like a Tim Hortons and stuff. And yeah, I ended up meeting him there. We talked for 5 minutes. He was so grateful for people coming out, taking the heat, going through the heat, being out during the pandemic and stuff like that, just to watch him, right? So he was super grateful. And it's a conversation, sometimes those 1, 2, 3 minute conversations that like really stick out. Mm-hmm. That's one of them for sure. So pretty shitty news there.
All right. Well, pretty fabulous news for other people, including Sami Zayn. And, there's a lot of like opinions about how everything went down over this entire weekend at WWE wise. With AEW, it's just like, wow, they did their thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have so much to say. I don't even want to begin. Why don't you lead me?
All right. So real quick, did you watch any of Slammiversary yet?
Slammiversary is the one show I did not watch any of, but I did watch NXT, if you can believe that.
I'm shocked. I thought it would be you watching NXT, not TNA. Go figure.
Yeah.
No, the other way around.
That would usually be the case, but it was on Netflix and it was just happened. I happened to notice that it was on. I was like, oh yeah, it's on right now. And I was doing something and I put it on and I paid quite a bit of attention. And I'm glad that Evil didn't win in the end. Like it was very ho-hum. The whole thing was very ho-hum. But
very basic. It was very basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk some NXT real quick since you watched that. So overall, what did you think of the show? Well, I guess you kind of already went there. But is there anything that really stood out for you?
I think, geez, I can't even, this is where my brain is today. I'm like, every time I go for a name, the name like flies out of my head. It's the fucking champ.
Tony D?
Tony D. Jesus, man. I swear to God, I'm literally about to say Tony D. And as I'm about to say it, it's like, what? Anyways. Tony D's, he does. I don't know, man. I like that he's not
something about him.
Yeah, the show overall. I like Tatum Paxley, and I like the girl that she was against. Nan, she's like, you sure we should have done the podcast right now? I can't believe
Zarya.
I can't think straight at all.
Zarya.
Yeah, Zarya. Like I can see Tatum maybe coming up, but they wouldn't give her. None of these crazy girl characters ever translate to the main roster. Nikki Cross, they don't want to go with
Alexa
that.
Bliss is the closest one.
Yeah, and the Viking Raiders Bailey, but like Crazy Mary, what was her name?
What they do with Lyra?
Yeah, she's starting with that eyeliner under her eyes. What was Mary's name on the Indies. The Valkyria. God.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah,
do you remember?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. It's just I can't.
Neither of us.
Right
we
now.
shouldn't be doing
It's
this
the
podcast.
heat.
Well,
It's
where
the
the
heat.
fuck
It's
is my
the heat.
brain? I literally everything I think of, I'm like, I can't actually say it. Yeah, that broad. She was friggin' a crazy person on the Indies. It was her whole thing, but like they don't like that stuff, right? And so,
yeah.
All right, let's go.
So
keep going.
yeah, the other thing, you know who's really growing on me? Shiloh Hill. I did not like his character at first. It was, I don't know. There was something about that character, but he's really started to grow on me a little, quite a bit, actually. I'm not sure if he's going to be a star like some people think, but he is growing on me. So that match with Tristan Angels was pretty fun. Ren St. Clair, what can you say?
That's the one match I didn't see. I
thing?
think it was only 3 minutes. Like I actually
With
left
speed,
the room for a minute.
the speed match, right?
But of course, Lola Vice. I didn't think she was going to lose the title so fast, but she got a lot going on in Mexico, and they need to. Kendall Gray's amazing, right? So they're gonna strap her up. I like Shiloh. I like his promo at the end. He's very rough around the edges, but like I could see maybe him, going up. He'd be a good undercard Baron Corbin type. Might one day win a big title. Like they'd like him up there. But I'm all rough around the edges. I ain't polished. All right, that's cool.
He's got Undertaker, right? He's got Undertaker as
a weapon.
Yeah,
yeah. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So NXT instead of TNA, and I guess TNA would have been depressing because Santana's gone and everything's gone. Jody Threat going to be in the new Women's Television Knockouts Television Championship. What bloody hell? I don't understand. I guess I can understand because YouTube gets a lot of women views and intergender views. So I guess when they look at the analytics and demographics, they're like, hey, people like the women wrestling. So I guess you want more champions, so you can have more tension for reasons to fight. But these women's television version, like the U.S. title, all these mid-card women's championships are like hard to wrap my head around. But I guess that's where we're at these days.
Yep. We were both wrong. Jinder Mahal did not debut for TNA. It was Apollo Crews.
Yeah, like so when they say like a former champion, like you're not expecting the one-time IC champion that like Apollo Crews. It's like when Damian Priest is going to be the WWE champion that they have come to AAA that they're teasing for next week. It's probably going to be Damian Priest, and that fulfills the obligation you're putting forward of like, hey, a former champion. TNA, it's the kind of thing an indie person does, like former WWE champion, and it's like, yeah, it's the former European champion D'Lo Brown on our show tonight. Right.
There you go. Exactly.
Swerve, bro. Yeah, it's a swerve. Exactly. Yes, Scott with the swerve. And Valhalla, you are correct, Joe. That was the name. What did I say? Ridiculous. Gonna try and get my head on straight here.
Nothing. You didn't say anything. You fumbled on your words. That's what happened.
No, I said something and it wasn't right. I said Valkyrie or something. All right, so there you go. Valhalla.
I don't know. Zaya Brookside, new Knockouts champion. We kind of both knew that would happen.
Yep.
So that was good. That was fun.
Yeah, and of course,
Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys. Dude, that whole brand, they're loving it. It's like their little playground now, right? They can do their whole thing. I like the Righteous.
Dude, I love the Righteous. I've always been a fan of the Righteous. We talked about them a lot last week. We live in a world that in 2026, both the Hardys and Edge and Christian are tag team champions of their respective brands.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool, and they deserve it. Whatever.
Yeah. They do. They do.
Who else are you going to put those TNA titles on? Although the NXT Championship, I think Galeno and Galeno Del Mal and Wagner Jr., Wagner 3, they're going to go for the tag titles. That'll be fun. I can see them taking it. Enough TNA. Then, my God.
Well, like
unless you want to talk about Nick Nemeth.
Well, I was literally just going to say he's the new champ. Mike Santana probably on the way out. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe they might see a lot of passion in him. They might see an upside in Santana. Hopefully they do. I mean, WWE, like NXT is probably where he's going, right? I would assume.
Oh, 1,000%. I would assume so, right? All right, let us move on to WWE Night of Champions. What did you think of the show?
Let me think now, since obviously I don't have a brain. They started off with the Oba match, right?
Yep.
Yeah, good shit. Not even the show itself. It's all of the ways that they got there, right? I guess I need to get into this podcast here. Okay. Shake my head and think about all the things that I believe and think. Some people are saying they should have just gone with Braun and Seth, all the way to the end of the tournament, had a cage match for the end of the tournament. Like, why are you having them both lose? And then then have this match, and now Braun's going for his tag title thing next week, and Seth's now going for a championship that he just lost in the first round of a tournament to become for that shot. And it's like you could have given Braun some wins if you had him go to the end, because the guy's been losing a lot lately. Give him a couple wins up to the Seth. They decide to make it a cage match, you and me, and it's like the King of the Ring finals inside a steel cage. They could have done that. And this is me thinking about what I've seen other people talk about, and I've had discussions with some people. But what I said to Ronnie, it was, what are you going to do with Oba? The reason they wanted him in the tournament is, what are you going to have him do? Feud with Rusev for a few weeks while the tournament's going on? Like, you don't want to water him down.
People were already complaining about him being watered down after the WrestleMania match. So,
and if he's going to keep on mentioning Brock Lesnar, he can't be feuding with someone or having random open challenges and then be talking about Brock Lesnar. But if he's involved in this tournament, then he's doing something, but he's preoccupied with Brock Lesnar. Like, I can see how they're like, how's he going to bring up Brock? What's he going to do for the next 4 weeks? Let's have him be in the tournament. And you don't want it to lose. So he goes all the way to the end. And then you see this huge backlash online of people being like, so he gave away his SummerSlam shot. So that's completely stupid. Oh, so the last whole month, you don't want to go to the extreme. People are saying the whole last month is worthless. You insult us. Like, this was a waste of our time. How do we ever believe tournaments are worth anything? And now this was all a complete waste of time. It absolutely wasn't. It shows you that Obafemi's, he's a main eventer. He's won the tournament. He has enough stroke and enough like gravitas in who he is. He's just like, I don't even need that. That'll always be there. It's right. He's like, I've got that title shot. That's fine. I'm going to go against Brock. And you got to think like a booker, right? They're thinking, where are we going to give Oba this title shot? Is it going to be Saturday night's main event? Is it going to be after SummerSlam? Is he going to take it from freaking, from Sammy? Is he going to go after Roman? Like, that's now still in the air. What's going to happen with Sammy?
Right. I feel like there's already a countdown on in the internet of when Sammy is going to lose. A lot of people think he's a transitional champ. A lot of people are thinking he's going to lose as soon as Saturday night's main event to set up that title match in the Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam.
Yeah, like, you know what? Now
honestly,
that you're saying it, the biggest swerve of all, swerve bro, Scott, the biggest swerve of all would be for Sammy to keep like pulling out wins.
That's exactly.
Especially if they're like how he won the title. Just like constant roll-ups, constant like, I won again. And like the Saudi fans cheering him. And now this is basically what I was talking about last year. It's like he's blind to the fact, like he's the last real good guy. Isn't that what he's calling himself?
Yeah.
Which is a great freaking moniker. Like, oh yeah, like so good for his character and where he's going with that character. So like perfect. It's kind of perfect.
We also have to remember that WWE is running house shows and TV in Canada at the end of August. SummerSlam's at the start of August. I have a feeling Sammy's going to be the champ here in Canada.
You may be right, man. Okay, this will be fun. So then who eventually takes it from him, right? I don't think Kevin Owens is coming back. I think he's lost the wrestling bug. He's like, he might do a match in the future, but I think he's like on his way to retirement. So you've got that going on. And you've got Oba now going for Brock, and like, will Brock retire? They've got a few weeks now to like put this together in Minnesota for Brock. What else do you want to talk about? Okay, what else happened at that pay-per-view?
So
next?
Let's talk about the Queen of the Ring finals, Liv Morgan, Io Sky. I didn't like that Danhausen stuff to kick that off. That kind of like laid the way for Liv Morgan losing. He's not, but I always worry about the overexposure of Danhausen.
All right, but so you're in the whiteboard room with Triple H. You're Triple H, and you're like, all right, we got our ESPN first hour. We're gonna do our King of the Ring stuff. We got to get Danhausen on TV and on ESPN because he's like hot to trot. Everybody loves Danhausen. You know, the whole thing with the Knicks and like everything that's going like he's mainstream. He's going mainstream.
Yeah,
so they love it, right? So they're gonna get Danhausen in there. So like, okay, we got to have our Danhausen bit. We'll do it like this. The whole tournament itself, I think Randy Orton and Rhea being injured after WrestleMania, this is really throwing them for a loop. And I think Rhea's a lot more hurt than we think, especially with how much weight she's been losing. She's trying to take pressure off her back. Plus, she took
a lot of stuff happening with her.
Yes. So they didn't even no mincing words. Like, hey, you Liv, I'm coming for you right away after beating her and having Liv in the tournament, like something for her to do. There's no Stephanie Vaquer. Like people have like really hard opinions about this stuff. Like, why is she in the tournament? If anybody that's been champion over the last year or two would do this, it's Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's the all time. I'm going to get in the tournament. I'm going to win the tournament. And then I'm going to go after Rhea. I'm the bestest ever. Like, I can see it, you know, and she made it all the way to the finals. So she's
her
right.
character allows for it. And let's be honest, her heat or popularity, whichever it is that week, calls for it too. People forget that she's over.
And if you want to give me all your reasons why it sucked and you wouldn't have done it, I'll probably agree with those reasons. But I'm also like, what else were you going to do? Like, these aren't bad things.
Here's the let's be honest. Like, WWE right now, AEW right now, whoever, whatever company, they don't know how long these visa issues are going to last. So I feel like there was a lot of changes to both companies' cards this past weekend. And in fact, Uncle Dave was talking about that with AEW. A lot of matches had to be changed because of various visa issues. And I have a feeling that WWE, a lot of their plans for this pay-per-view specifically, this tournament had to change because of these visa issues.
Yeah, well, so be it. You know, like they're doing the best they can. I do think it's a little weird that we might get Sammy against Jay. Like Jay might get a title shot. Like people keep talking about, like he lost the tournament for the title shot and now he's getting the title shot. And some people would be like, well, he was runner up. Like wouldn't runner up get a title shot? Like there's so many things you can criticize, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, what else would they have done? And like, would you have criticized that too? Like, who cares? Like, I don't know.
Scott,
to a degree, it's fine.
Scott Ainsworth says, why, when it is known she has back issues, would they keep having her spots that make it worse unless it will trigger a surgery? And this is why I say there's a lot more to it than just an injury. There's a lot more to what's going on, and I don't really want to like speculate or talk about it, but there's more to it.
Yeah, like there must be. Because, yeah, she seems really fucked up, man. Like they want her around and she's not around. So what's that about? I don't know.
Right? Exactly.
What happened? So what happened after that match?
So
Here's another thing. They want to do Charlotte against Jade, right? So like that's why Charlotte didn't win. That's why Jade didn't win. Like they know where they wanted to go with some of these things.
They have specific plans for people leading into SummerSlam, and they kind of had to just get through this show to get to those plans, and that's kind of obvious, especially with the Oba Brock stuff, the Seth Roman stuff. Like I feel like they had a plan for SummerSlam that we were eventually going to get to, but because of visa issues and injuries and other reasons, they kind of just had to throw stuff together to get us into this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those were
next
two
up,
ESPN matches. Yeah.
Yeah. Then once the pay-per-view went exclusive pay-per-view, we had the steel cage match, Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. I really like this match a lot.
Yeah, they did do well, but you know, Braun, the shine is off Braun, the Vision. I don't know what's going on with the Vision. Paul Heyman blowing off freaking Austin Theory. So yeah, but it was a good match, and Seth had to go over because he's gonna go
now, especially now,
Roman.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, gonna challenge Roman. So
all right, let's talk about the WWE United States Championship match. Trick Williams, Ricky Saints, dude. Number one, Trick, is he a face? Is he a heel? Number two, Ricky Saints. Ooh, what's going on with him?
Well, you know, in AEW, Ricky Saints, he seemed to me he was like the smarmy shitty heel. Like when he first came out with Taz and the guys on AEW, it was like, oh, this guy. But he seemed like one of those wrestlers, you know, just like a standard wrestler guy, like a Robert Stone type guy. You know where I'm coming from with this?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it seemed like he was kind of over and the fans were over with him. And I thought, okay, he's friends with Cody, like behind the scenes, like maybe this is just a character and he's really not like this. I don't know. Like he seemed to be over in AEW. And it was like the way that MJF is over. Like they knew that when the chips were down, he would bleed, he would go hard. Like they kind of liked that he was the pretty boy into himself, but like would still go hard. Like, does it make sense? Like, I don't know how he got so over in AEW, but he kind of was. Yep. And none of this is translating. And it's like, now he is what I thought he was when I first saw him. Like, like in WWE, all this seems like production. It seems like the character, and it's not good. In AEW, that seemed like against the grain. Like this guy was like so flashy. And like, in AEW, you're left wing. You care about people and you care about other. Like you're not a completely selfish, self-absorbed testosterone like spotlight like man Carmelo Hayes man. You know, but it was like ironic that he was that in AEW. And then like, you got Brian Cage with him and his fucking chops and his muscle, like, yeah, and it seemed to almost kind of work in those early AEW days when they were trying to figure out what they wanted.
Yeah,
it's not working.
I also think some theories also going around with some people that I've talked to is that he's being overproduced. Like it's too scripted for him.
Yeah, maybe. This theme song is not good. None of it's good. I hate to jump forward, but the new Chad Gable theme song is the most AI awful thing ever. It's like an awful song. And then when you listen to the words, they're going like, Gable, Gable. I'm like, oh my God, they got AI to make a freaking song. Like, there's no way they paid some dude to like sing Gable, Gable. Like, that's so AI right there. And it sounds like an AI voice.
Have you heard the other Def Rebel music?
Yeah, but still, like, this is like, I think one of the most blatant. But let's rewind to where we just were, Ricky Saints. And like, yeah, I'm not into it. And I don't think he had a chance in hell of beating Trick here. And he's beaten Trick on NXT, right? And like, he's not going to beat Oba here. He's not going to beat Trick here. The main roster is gonna beat up Ricky Saints, I think.
Yeah. Where do you move from here for Trick Williams? Is it to Carmelo Hayes?
Maybe, or to Chad Gable. Although are they in the same brand right now?
Nope.
U.S. title?
Nope.
That was Raw for Gable. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Yep. All right, we will see. Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill was the next match.
Yeah, the Cargill Gargle. They needed something, so they put this together, and they don't know how to work together. It's probably the best match they've had. And I don't know if anybody else noticed, but it's like 2 matches in a row ending with a moonsault. Like, they got 2 women's matches in a row because the King of the Ring final was EO delivering the moonsault for the finish. And then here we go delivering the moonsault for the finish. So I was like, oh, wow. Way to be creative, boys.
Which is very rare for WWE, right? Like it's very noticeable when WWE does that, I find.
Well, both of them, it's their finish kind of, but still.
Yeah, but still. Yeah, so let's see what happens. Tiffany Stratton, I don't know what the full plan would be there. Jade seems like she's going to move on to Charlotte, but Tiffany, I don't know. Is it with think something will happen with Chelsea Green, with Blake Monroe? Well, Blake Monroe seems to be doing something with Julia.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with any of these gals. I think what's going to happen is she's going to be treated just like how they treat the U.S. champion. If she was to disappear for 2 months, you'd just be like, oh, yeah, that might be what's happening next for her. Yeah, we got nothing for you.
Yep. All right. Sami Zayn, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, main event. We already talked about this. Sami Zayn, new champion. I'm not shocked. I'm not mad. I kind of knew this was going to happen. And let's see what happens. I'm kind of happy.
Yeah, like it was a weird match. I've never watched a WWE title change live of somebody that's been dying to get the belt, deserves the belt, could possibly get the belt, Cinderella story type thing. Heel turn, decides to get the belt, whatever, and had so little actual feeling. Like it just happened, and I was like, oh yeah. All right, Sami Zayn.
Well, that you even said that last week, right? Where remember, for months you've been talking about what are they going to do with Sami Zayn. You mapped out this beautiful fantasy booker scenario moving into the next year's WrestleMania. You were hyped. You were on the hype train.
Yeah, I guess so. This I don't know. This seemed kind of blasé. I'm hoping that it is a bit of a title reign so that we can get more into Sami.
I'm hoping
and start to get more evil and like desperate to keep the title, like Eddie Kingston, like Chikara Grand Champion styles, like my precious, like, man, he gets more and more desperate to keep the title because now that he has it, he wants it. The first thing he said is, even if I lose this tomorrow, I'll forever be Sami Zayn. Like that's the lie to himself. He's like, no, he can't give it up.
In this weird way, one of the scenarios I was thinking of was it would be funny and so in tune with Sami Zayn if now that he's a champion, it's little by little he starts acting more like a champion. He might shave a little more, might cut his hair, might start dressing a little fancier, all that bullshit that people kind of give him crap for online.
Yeah, but like that's why the Saudis love him. That's why he is the everyman, right? It's his thing.
Well, they love him for many reasons.
Yeah. Anyways, marketing. You can't change yourself too drastically. They got toys.
No. Exactly.
And they got
But
toys they got to
little change for a few weeks. Little changes for a few weeks. Won't hurt anyone. Won't hurt the sales.
So let's talk about,
especially if he's a heel.
We've got 2 nights of SummerSlam coming up. So just to quickly rewind, it will be unfortunate when, mark my words, there is no women's U.S. title match on either night of SummerSlam, and that Tiffany Stratton.
It'll be on SmackDown. It'll be on SmackDown.
She'll be giving There's Nothing for You, right? But that's unfortunate. But what we will most likely, or I don't know, hopefully we get Aldis and Gunther. Yo, guy, I mean, right into that shit. Come on, after the match, they had the backstage, some of the
they had the backstage stuff. Exactly. So remember, Gunther called him washed up. Gunther basically brushed him off. Nick Aldis was suspended from his GM role. There's a lot really leading up that makes sense for this to be the match. Dude, I can't even think of a better opponent for Nick Aldis at this point.
Yeah, dude, this is going to be great. I think they've fought before back in we're talking Global Force Wrestling Champion Day, when he's like, I'm at WXW defending the Global Force Championship against Walter.
Good old Magnus. Yeah,
exactly. Another good thing about this is we're going to just get more Adam Pearce, baby, because Adam Pearce is the greatest general manager of all time. He's so good, and now he's both friends. Right.
He really is. It's I like it. No, but like this match, like you don't even need to you just have them interact a few more times and let the match talk for itself.
Like I always suspected we would get an Aldis match one day, but
not this.
No, and it took a while, and I'm surprised it's not like Cody or something. But yeah, this is great.
I thought it would be Randy. I thought it would be, I don't know, like so many people that he's had confrontations with, but. And even when this whole Gunther stuff started, I didn't even think the possibility would lead to a match. But now it's like
he's the man. A lot of guys have their own supplement brands. You know, there's the Rybacks out there. There's everybody out there. Even Simon Miller, has his. But Aldis has a brand that's like does very well in Europe. It's like scientifically backed. He bought it. It's like something to do with some company that was on the up and up, then went on the down. He bought in on the company, and then they decided to stay private. Something to do. Anyways, bottom line is his supplements are some of the top notch supplements out there. So he's got his life outside of WWE humming pretty well, and we all know he's married to hardcore country. So, I think he's going to be in great shape. He's going to look amazing, and he's probably going to go hard because he's years to rest. It's going to be good. Yeah.
And another thing, he's only 39 years old.
Really? Bro.
Yeah. He's younger than me.
The fact that they never signed him, but I can see there was so many times where they could have brought in all this and he just would have been an EC3 type. If he's not now that he has this character of the former GM, he has something. People like him and have a reason to like him. Him coming in as Nick Aldis.
Nope, it wouldn't have worked.
Yes, he would have either come in as a face, and people would have been like, he's no William Regal. He doesn't have the rough edge. He is he's the David Beckham type. He's
yeah, it would have been, I remember the whole Bobby Roode stuff. It kind of would have maybe a blip here, but then it kind of would have fizzled. But like you said, because he's been able to create this GM character, have some good interactions, people know he can talk, people kind of get him in a sense. I think this may have been the best buildup to a wrestling career ever.
Yeah, man. He's lucky that he's going to get a shot in WWE in the ring, and I think he's going to get cheered, and it's going to be great. And when he taps out, Gunther going to be like, I retire. They get him back on the Legend Killer. Retired Nick Aldis.
Yeah. I was going to say, watch
steam off the Gunth.
Yeah, they really have. All right, let's talk about this. You're on the hot seat. Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. Will it be for a title?
Yeah, see, there's so many places they can go. So it's Saturday night's main event before SummerSlam.
Yep.
And that's happening
just the week before.
MSG. Who knows? But you know what? It'll be nothing. What are we talking about? We're all oh, they could do so much. They're going to do nothing. It'll be just like every other Saturday main event. It'll be, Sammy will be against someone and Sammy will win.
MSG. It's MSG. That's the one thing. But just because it's MSG might mean we get good matches. We might get a better card than SummerSlam, but I don't think anything major is going to happen. Watch us completely eat our words in a few weeks.
Yeah, I could see Oba coming out of the cage match and then challenging someone. You know, they've realized exactly what they were talking about, Rollins and him. They're like, hey, title versus career. I think they're going to go that way in some fashion. Or like the career will be on the line. But that could happen. I did think about that. I was like, if Oba wins it, then he's like, why should I give you the title shot? You know, we already had this match planned. But I don't know. All of it's fine. They're just going to keep doing what they do. And like, they'll come up with scenarios at the last minute. There's a million ways they can go. So that's why I've gotten to the point where I'm not overly criticizing too often. Like, I understand why they wanted to keep Oba busy, and now he's king of the ring. And they should put that damn crown on a huge trophy because nobody wants to wear the damn crown. No, neither of these people, like Io didn't wear it. Oba's holding the thing, holding it up. Nobody's putting this shit on their head. So just put that exact crown that he had on the top of like a beautiful opera cup looking trophy. And then one day somebody can Bret Hart it, you know, and smash it all up. Just like he did to Bad News Brown, and we can have ourselves a feud. You destroyed my trophy. Now I have a reason to fight you. But anyways,
Is there a possibility that Oba does double duty?
I doubt it. They're not doing a lot of double duty stuff.
No,
like
they are.
We think about it. We're like, oh, this would be great. Doesn't happen very often.
I brought this scenario up on another show, and I doubted myself even when I said it because it's not a thing anymore. Though it would be cool. And again, we talked about this a few weeks ago where it's like, okay, these 2-night pay-per-views, my favorite thing about WrestleMania 40 was the fact that you had a story that kind of went through both nights. Yeah.
And they were tag matches. It was a tag match, so nobody went too hard. And I think that might have even been something that scared them off. Like, did Rock pull something in that match as well? Because he pulled something in his last few matches.
Seth, right? Seth got injured and he could barely walk against Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, and that's exactly. See, now that's what I was about to say right before you mentioned this. Is like the reason that they're gun shy with these 2-night things is they don't want to advertise something that they have to take away. You get injured during a match, you can gut it out. If you have a number one contendership match, you know, like let's say Daniel Bryan, Triple H, and then go on WrestleMania 30, and then you're in the main event later. That's a good stretch of time, 2.5 hours or so to like start swelling, to cool down, you know. But if it's something that's already wrapped, like if it's under a boot, if it's an ankle, if it's a knee, you just don't unwrap it. Maybe you can keep going. There is no way you are injuring yourself, straining yourself, spraining yourself, pulling something at the very least. And 24 hours later, you're like, yeah, I'm fine. 24 hours later is when you're the most effed. That's when the bruising starts, the blood builds up. That's when you're at the peak of your muscle pain. So you injure yourself on an event on a Saturday, and you were advertised for the main event of the next night. Yeah, I mean, they can shoot you up with stuff. You know, you can like, there's all kinds of things you can do.
Cortisone is a hell of a thing. Yeah,
exact, but it's not what they want to do, and you don't want to injure yourself more. There's nothing worse than like having a half tear that becomes a full tear. You know, that's the only reason they let Cody do the Hell in the Cell with his pec.
Because it was full tear.
Full tear. Not much you can do, buddy. You're already in pain. Go for it.
No.
So, that's the worst part about partial injuries. You're not fracturing your arm and then continuing. Like the Cornette story about Jericho, you know, fracturing his arm and then, you know, wrestling anyway while trying a moonsault and then wrestling. You know, he's like, that's the worst. You know, that's when you splinter. That's when things get really bad.
Yeah. It happens to some people. Joe says, I had a cortisone shot in my shoulder, made it hurt more. Yeah, I know some people where it doesn't take or whatever. My mom had that issue with her knees for a long time.
Joe's like Bizarro, though. He's like the opposite of like, he's very much like Ron. Ron has a lot of issues, but he seems to be able to, you know, he can handle it. I don't know. The universe only gives you what you can handle. I feel like Joe is one of those guys where things work opposite on him. You know, like that episode of Star Trek where they have like the Picard. There's two Picards, and they have to the positive energy is not working, but when I put the negative energy in, everything powers up, and oh my God, that's Joe, right? If you put like maple syrup or like something else, put it in, oh, my shoulder feels fine. You know, whatever the opposite of cortisol is. Yes, maple syrup is the opposite on the elemental chart of cortisol. So, cortisone, sorry. Cortisol's up here.
All right. Let's move on. I'm going to throw some names at you. Tell me what you think their SummerSlam plan is going to be. Let's start with Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes is going to take on Sami Zayn. No, you like, or wait. Yeah, wait, I got to think for a second because it's Jey Uso, right? That's what we think is going after Sami Zayn for. I think you're going to get. Jeez, are you going to get Jey Uso? You're going to get Sami or going against either Jey or Cody. Now, is it going to be Saturday's main event or SummerSlam? Who could he go against? Who do you have a beef with right now?
Everyone and the internet. Oh, Cody. Everyone and the internet also.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I think Cody. Here's my thing. One thing about Cody is. Go ahead.
Next week on Raw or next week on SmackDown, isn't there a title match? Like Cody has a title match next week on SmackDown. And it's in Chicago.
Yep.
Yeah. So like Cody could beat Sami and CM Punk could come out. You know, and then you're going into SummerSlam with a massive freaking event. And like maybe one of the last years that they feel they can advertise these older guys. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, night 1, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, night 2, blah, blah, blah. By next year, you're not going to start seeing main event lineups over 2 nights that are going to be all the older guys. You're going to start seeing the Obafemis and the Tricks and the other guys. You're going to start peppering in before it all gets switched out. Right. So maybe they want it to go. Maybe they're going to go that way.
Here's the thing. I also believe that at some point, Cody right now is the perfect time, especially with Street Fighter on the horizon. He needs some time away. I think people are going to just get tired of him. And I think it's a perfect time to still have him on TV, give him a meaningful match, but it doesn't need to be in the main event scene in terms of title match.
Yeah, like I could see Sami
i.e. Cody or
too
i.e.
far.
CM Punk.
Yeah. Sami could go too far to get the victory, you know, and like Cody's out, you know, like very much. And he's like, you did it to Kevin. You made me do this, you know, like juxtaposing against what he did to Kevin Owens last year. Like, and maybe they take him off TV. That's what I was saying when I like almost the way that this podcast started and I seem so frazzled is because I was like, okay, you lead me because bro, there's a million places they could go. And I've kind of forgotten that they were doing the title match next week. I mean, they could do a million bloody things. And what about Sami takes on Cody next week? Sami wins. Sami takes on Jey Uso at SummerSlam. Sami wins. Sami goes on to keep on winning for like we're like, oh my God, you know, like there's so many things they could do. Who wants to see Jey Uso against Sami? Nobody. Who wants to see double bloodline stuff? I don't know. But dude, how the hell have we gone this entire podcast talking about WWE? Because we're like an hour in, 50 minutes in, and bro, like AEW has destroyed everything. I mean, I know their matches are too long. You take a look at the biggest WrestleMania of all time, like WrestleMania 17, I think, the one people say is one of the greatest, right? You want to throw in another one, maybe I'll look at the cage match. We'll see. But like the matches, we're talking none of the matches, not even the main event in that WrestleMania went as long as even the undercard matches of the AEW show. Like they were all really long, but everything was so good. Everything was so good.
It was good, I guess. I don't know. I'm so indifferent with AEW right now.
I don't know, man. Forbidden Door, for me, everything was on point. First of all, you got the commentary team most of the night of like Nigel and Excalibur and Walker Stewart. Yeah. Like, man, that's amazing. I love me some Shingo. Open it up with Shingo and freaking Titan, who I love, and like nobody seemed to like Titan. I don't like it when he wears the black because you can't see the details of his mask. He's just like a dude wearing like shimmery black stuff. And for some reason, you never seem to notice his scar across his chest. He's got like a massive scar across his chest, huge. And like you never notice it when he's wearing the black for some reason. I never notice it. And then what was the other team against the Bucks?
The Bucks. Yeah. Sky team. It was Mystico and
yes. So like, Dorada. Dude, Dorada and Mystico, those guys are great. I don't know if this was their best performance in any fashion, but those guys, you know, you get lucha guys against lucha guys. As this guy who promotes lucha, you know, they bring it hard. You throw them in against other styles. Sometimes it doesn't always work in a triple threat like this. If you had 6 guys in there, they're all lucha guys, maybe. But I don't think this was there. But dude, what a great opening match. And Nick I don't know why I noticed throughout this show that Rick Knox like talks to himself, but he doesn't it's not like he's talking to himself like, oh, what do you think about this? He talks to himself as if he's talking to wrestlers, but the wrestlers are long gone. So like he's literally in the middle of the ring and somebody throws somebody out and they go over to the ropes to do like a pescado or something. And he's still in the middle of the ring and he'll just be like, gotta lay off the hair. lay off there. And he's like not really talking at anybody. He's just like mumbling to himself but saying referee stuff. Lay off the hair. 1 and 2. Don't throw him out there. Get off the top.
I've noticed this. I've noticed this with him.
He just like doesn't have to be near the wrestlers. Like he gives them space, but still does all this referee stuff just from like across the ring. Get out there. Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of funny. Riccaboni was on some of the opening stuff on a few matches. I noticed he's like I don't dislike Ian Riccaboni. I like him as the voice of ROH. I'm kind of used to it. I like Kevin Kelly better. Please, anybody that thinks he's like a right-wing Nazi or whatever, I'm sorry. I don't know why people hate him, but I've always liked him. Let me know why I'm supposed to hate him, I guess. But Riccaboni sounded so canned. There were so many times where I feel like he had like 4 or 5 one-liners, and he's like, okay, here's my one-liners. And then when a spot came in, he's like, oh, maybe I can use this one here. You know, like you're like trying to force them in, and they were okay, but you know, like things like he's flying through the forbidden door. And I'm like, the very first plancha of the match, that's the line he threw out. I'm like, well, he was like writing that down earlier in the day. Okay, well, flying through the forbidden door, and we're the foundation of the how, like he's, you know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like Riccaboni, you sound like such a schmuck.
Yeah. Well, Kenny Omega, Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, this background we have right now last week was Omega and Sabre Jr. and it didn't work. For some reason we had an issue, so it didn't pop up, but that was fun. And that was a good match, and I expected Omega to win. And whenever I see pictures of Omega and Ospreay together, like sitting on benches or looking all like I feel like that's a match we all want to see. We want MJF in the end. But yeah, very good. That was good.
Wait till Ospreay's the champ. You know, continue this Omega recovery rehab assignment, and eventually we'll get to Ospreay Omega, I think, by the end of the year. By World's End, we'll have Ospreay Omega.
Yeah, and Zack Sabre still has the same body shape he's always had. He's filled out just a little bit, but something about his like face and his chin, like he looks like a little more like a man now. And like, I'm so jealous of British people being able to like insult you and get away with it. You know, like the other day, like I was watching something the other day, and this lady turned around and was like, "Oh, not you again, darling. You're going to be a twat again, are you?" And it's basically like you basically said, like, "Oh, not you again, asshole. You're going to continue being a freaking moron." Like, yep. But you could just say it, like you can't. That's confrontational. But when you're like, yep. oh, Petal, darling, you're going to continue being a twat, are you? We're all getting rather tired. And it's like that's the same thing, but somehow you can get away with it, dude. Like Zack Sabre Jr. can say the worst things to you, and it's okay.
Then there's Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, and like, okay, I want to talk about the reason that I've got Pac up here is because like everybody's gonna talk about all the matches. Dude, that match was so good. That was like the match of the night. If you put them all in a bubble and see them all like 3 weeks, 4 weeks apart, that match was so good. And especially if you follow like the Shota Umino storyline and like the young boy way things go, and like Pac is always so good. He's like that chocolate bar you only get when you go on vacation. You're like, oh, are we going back to that? We going back to Long Point? They have that one ice cream at the place I love. You know, like, hey, Pac is that guy you don't get to see that often. But when he's in a singles match, you're all like, oh,
you remember how good he is.
So good.
He's the guy that you forget how good he is.
And like when they had Gabe Kidd, who was like diehard New Japan, having Tanahashi crying at Wrestle Dynasty, taking on Omega. I think it was Dynasty or Kingdom. It was one of the ones there. And and then he like within 6 months he signed a contract, and now he's like flipped completely, and he's like, oh, I'm AEW for life. And it's like he's such a piece of shit. He can lean into it even though it's reality. And I realized that when he was standing over Shota Umino at that New Japan event, and you're gonna be taking on Pac at Forbidden Door, man, what a tag team.
Right?
Pac and Gabe Kidd, just as a tag team, just the two of them with their freaking accents and their attitudes, and like, bro, man, they would be amazing. They would be like the new British Bulldogs. Like, think about it. Like, think about Pac coming down to the ring, right? And then like Gabe Kidd behind him, like yelling at fans behind him, and Pac just like drill into the ring, like get in there and just like beat the shit out of people. Like, yo, guy, like Black Arrow into the Brutalizer. I didn't like that they did that, because the Black Arrow into the Brutalizer is like such a great finisher, and he killed so many people in his All Atlantic run and in the early AEW with that. And now he hits it. You can hit him with one and kick out, and then you can grab him with the other, and he like gets to the ropes. But if you're gonna hit it, roll over, transition into the Brutalizer, I don't think anybody should be like crawling to the ropes on that, unless we're talking main event world champ kind of stuff. So I didn't like that. But everything else was amazing, and I am going to salivate and dream of Gabe Kidd and Pac as a tag team, and it's never going to happen. But
nope, it won't unless you book it. John Moxley, Bandito.
I don't know if it needed to happen. I think it diminishes the ROH title like in so many ways.
What have we been saying? I don't know.
And like they're doing the same thing with the women's ROH title. Like this brand needs to get away, man. Like they need to, like, you can't tell me Corgan can't be nearly as rich as Tony Khan. And I know he's a mark and he wants to do his thing and he wants to be Williams James Corrigan of NWA or whatever. Dude, sit down with the guy, talk to him. Okay, be like, hey, you must know your brand like has a stink on it. You must Comet TV can't be your goal. Give me a break, okay? Let's do something where you come in and like somehow we're gonna have brand warfare, ROH versus NWA, but NWA fucking wins. So in kayfabe, you're giving the promotion to someone else, okay? And it doesn't have to be William Corgan because he's awful on screen and awful talking, but somehow, like Nigel there, he's like, hey, me and Billy Corgan, we run this now. Now you've got both titles, a unified title. And it's going around on the indies on like a tour circuit. Like, dude, you got to give it something other than what it is. Because John Moxley coming in with this continental title, this is more important than the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. Are you kidding me? CM Punk crying in the ring because you bought the footage and I know it'll live forever. And like you couldn't bear to let it go. You had to buy it from Sinclair and you fought. And the catalyst for the original All In and all of it happening, like that footage was ROH footage. That's the reason he bought the damn company, was so he could just get our All In. And what are you doing with this brand? Like he should have unified it with his world title a long time ago. And or whatever the internet, it should be a major secondary title that then headlines pay-per-views. Like I don't understand what they've done with this title and why. Like I had to rewind the footage to see if Bandito even came out with the belt, and then I can't recall if he did.
I don't remember.
I remember thinking I wanted to, and then I was like, forget it, and I didn't. But I was like, did he come out with the belt even? So yeah, I'm not into it.
Does any listener remember? Put it on the chat. All right, next we had Tekla and Starlight Kid.
Dude, what a match! What a match!
This was my favorite match of the night.
And like right straight to the post show. Tekla on the post show was freaking hilarious. Like wearing the Starlight Kid mask, being like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Hey, I'll use stupid bitches. Like I love Tekla so much these days. And both of them are so short. They're like 4 foot nothing, these women.
Yeah.
What a hell of a match. A Starlight Kid, her first match outside of like Stardom, I think, even, or outside of Japan for sure. So like she brought it hard.
She's awesome. I've been following her for a few years, and every match she's had has been awesome. I'm so glad that she's made it to the North American audience, even the sickos or whatever. But it was good to see that.
If Tekla wasn't on such a hard run and she wasn't going to take on Monet, and they've got a lot. These two gals can like go at each other on the mic for the next little while, which is great. If it wasn't for all of this, dude, I could have seen this is the prime opportunity to put a title on someone. You can't keep having these Forbidden Door shows and these crossover shows where nobody from another company wins a title.
Only the first one had that.
What was it again?
I forget which one, but I feel like only the first one had some title changes. Maybe not, actually, now that I'm thinking about it more.
Was it 6-man? We'll have to go back and look. And if that's the case, then sure.
But regardless, your point stands.
In another world, this is a great time for Starlight Kid to come put on a hell of a freaking match. Win. Tekla freaks out. Tekla goes to Stardom. Tekla wins her title back at a Stardom event, and they show highlights on AEW and check it out online and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is how you work a relationship with companies like this. And I wonder why they don't do it more often. But in this situation, you need Tekla to go over. You need her to take on Monet. I love that Monet beats Maya World and is a 2-time champ, and I love that they had a hella match.
They had a great
Maya
match.
World, and Maya World not ready for prime time, but they're giving her a lot, and that's great.
People want to give Tony shit for this match because, it was a foregone conclusion. But just remember, that wasn't even the original plan. You had a lot of other options here. You had Willow, who got injured. You had a lot of injuries happen over the past little while. So this is where you're at, right? Yeah, and like, it's weird. Like, there's stuff happening coming up with WWE where we're all talking about how we don't know what's going to happen. It's so unpredictable. And AEW, very much almost every match in this show was predictable who was going to win. And then there are all these big long matches, but it didn't matter. A lot of these didn't matter. KG Goat versus the Dogs was the match. It was okay. It was good for what it was.
dude, like Finley looking lean, like he's leaned out like amazingly. And a lot of people looking bloody lean right now. I don't know. Like I think a lot of people on this show are on the same kind of diet and regime with each other. Well, we're going too long, Boris. Huh? You don't want me to talk anymore? Sorry, go on.
Yes, we are actually. Do you want to pay for more airtime?
Well, you got to edit it down, I guess. All right, sorry.
I'm joking. That was a match that happened. What else did we get here? We had we already talked about the Owen Hart final, the women's. Then we had
there's so many good near falls in that match.
I remember what I want to talk about. In the cage coat match, the big takeaway from that match is the return of Switchblade.
Oh yeah, man! Everybody and when they all came out, and I saw that when they went around the back that it was Ace Austin, I was like, oh, okay, I guess no Jay White. And then he suddenly was there. I was like, okay, thank God. But yes, we need this. We need this so bad. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good stuff in this show.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, even the I liked the Divine Dominion. The pre-show was good too. There's some good stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the pre-show. We had Team Mark Briscoe versus Team MJF in the circular steel cage.
Yeah, man, good stuff with the circular steel cage.
Yeah, all right.
I like wondering how they were going to jump off it or whatnot. And I guess they did an okay job. Man, Kevin Knight right from the top through a table. Like, good on you, kiddo. Way to put yourself on the line. Willow, you mentioned Willow. I love the orange spot. I kind of loved it. And right away I was like, oh, they should be rubbing that on people's wounds. And then I was like, hey, great minds think alike. So like good stuff there. This match was actually really good. I don't often like the AEW like crazy plunder matches. I don't need anarchy in the arena. I don't need cameras.
I don't like those matches. This one was okay, but logically, I still stand by what I keep saying, and that's you have a team. Why it's okay. Briscoe had his team fight for him for his title shot. Okay, it is what it is.
Weird.
But then from the heels, what the fuck do they care about MJF winning or losing his title?
It's all about Don Callis wanting to be with in the relationship, and then it's a bit convoluted. I don't like Don Callis and the way they present him as a character. I feel like it's bullshit. Like he shouldn't have any power, and like it's weird. It's weird that he's so powerful and has this big faction, and he's not a good manager. And I don't mean as in like he's like the, he's what the hell did they call him? Harvey Whippleman. He's not the Harvey Whippleman, as in like he's just not a great manager. Like he's just not, according to what you should do to be a good manager, he doesn't do any of that stuff. Like he's all about himself. He's not about his guys. He puts himself on commentary. He gets involved. I used to kind of like the Jackal, but I do not like this version of Don Callis. I even like freaking old school Don Callis in the ring. Like he's never that great, but I kind of like the way he worked. I do not like scar on the head, pink glasses, Don Callis as a character. I don't feel that he's actually dangerous. I don't feel that he's actually rich. I don't feel like he's actually powerful. He comes off like a clown. It's not like he's actually the kingpin. You're not actually afraid of Don Callis's pull or power influence, or is certainly not physically. So it just seems like, what is this? So yeah, but that's why they're in that match with MJF.
Sure, whatever. To me, it still doesn't make sense. It might just be me, nitpicking. I don't know. And then the other thing is Andrade's heel turn. Kind of, sure.
If you're gonna produce a shirt beforehand, you obviously know what you're planning to do for the end of the night. But if your English isn't great, it's also a great way to get your point across. I'm all about it.
I like that. I don't know. For me,
it was even broken English on the shirt. It was like, ba screw Don, screw these. Like, I don't know. It seemed like I was like, eh. Anyways, go on. Always interrupting you poor guy.
No, it's fine. I'm it's so hot in here. It's not even funny right now.
Oh yeah. Joe says, hey, it was the IWGP tag titles. That's what happened at Forbidden Door, the very first one. And did they even defend it ever in Japan? I think they went to a straight. They had it for a while. They lost it. Did they defend it in Japan? Yeah. Okay. Still.
Maybe once. I know that they did the tour in Australia.
Oh yeah. All right. So yes, there you go. FTR. Good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. So Mark Briscoe wins. Title match is happening. If you're listening on KPHR, it's already happened. But it is happening tonight later on Dynamite. Then that leads us to the main event that started way past my bedtime. Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland for the Owen Hart finals.
Yeah, good match. You know, I was talking with, I think, Ron at the time, and he was like, "Yo, the crowd is dead. This is gonna be tough." And I was like, "You just watch you eat those words." And even through the entrances, the crowd was hot. And it's like kind of like I like how they dress up. It's like the only time you can dress up, really. You know, take yourself seriously.
Look, if I had a company that had partnership with WB, I'm doing all the fucking comic book characters. I don't know about you.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense why they he went Bane. But also, like, just when else in life do I have a chest filled with masks and costumes? I have a whole costume room.
I'm
like,
sure you do, buddy.
It's not like I could just like put on my freaking stormtrooper gear and go to the store. Like, have you seen the Demand Lucha shows? We got guys in the back row dressed like Spider-Man, spilling out of their freaking spandex and like with no teeth and shit. We had a Spider-Man dude. One guy got up, walked across Hardcam to go get a beer or something, and he got a Spider-Man chant in the middle of the match. It was like Spider-Man, Spider, and just like vagrant-esque dude. And like, okay, so I don't want to be equated with them more than I guess I already am. My show. But yeah, like if you're a wrestler, you get to do that shit. You know what I mean? Cool entrance gears I've made. I was looking at a skull I have here today, and I was like, that would go great on a pike. And I was like, that'd be great for Derwin Jackson with like that silver thing that I've been making for him. I'm like, okay. But yeah, if you were a wrestler, you get to dress like this all the time. You know, I had the 2K games, right?
Yeah.
It was a period of time, like long time ago, I was playing them. Like 17, 18, 2K18. Like I wasn't maybe even before that. Anyways, the girlfriend was like, "Oh, these games, you like this game?" And I was like, "Well, I like this game because it's not much of a commitment. I can play a match 2 and I can walk away. You know, I'm not playing like a hockey game forever, or I'm not getting into Zelda. Yeah, or I'm not getting into Zelda for like a week and a half straight, and I don't bathe or eat, and I'm like, just one more runestone. You know, like, okay, we've all been there.
Exactly.
Like Red Dead Redemption.
That's my issue.
Like, come out of my room after like a week. Like, sorry, go on.
But that's my biggest issue with video games is I need to find video games where I can play for like half an hour and put it down. Most games, Final Fantasy, and that ain't gonna happen, right? Even the new Lego Batman game, I can't put it down.
Yeah, they're amazing. So I've stopped playing video games. But she used to be like, "Hey, you like this game?" And one day she sees me making a wrestler, like in the Creator Wrestler, and she's like, "Wait, you can dress them up?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Whoa!" She said, "That way you can make them any size and shape you want." And I was like, "There's women." So dressing up is fun. The girlfriend was right into 2K for a while, and she's like, "Well, what do I do now that I've like made this amazing person?" I'm like, "Well, you fight so much." Oh, all right, here you go.
That's it. It's over.
But she had fun. We bonded. It was good.
That's hilarious. But yeah, Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay. That Styles clash, not even a Styles clash, but Styles clash turned to whip into the stairs. Man, I feel like Swerve may have bladed himself a little too deep on that one.
Dude, both of these guys, like,
right?
I don't understand why you can't just get a little blood and let it dry on your face. Like, what is wrong with people?
Right? It was crazy. It was freaking crazy.
I'm trying not to talk anymore so I don't cut you off, and so we don't go like another I know you want to wrap this up. I'm surprised we even got through all of this. Like, shouldn't there be more AEW matches? How did we get through that so fast?
Because we were focused and we didn't talk about the pre-show.
Okay, so let's go back. Pre-show.
No, I swear to you. no, but yeah, no, this match was great. It's again, this match, I'm okay with the length of this match. This match could have gone as long as it needed to. Other matches, and this is my issue, other matches didn't need to go. This has been my biggest issue with New Japan for many years, where I feel like just the length of the matches is too much. Not every match needs to be 35, 40 minutes. You can have a great match and have it be 10 minutes. You can have a half-decent match and it being 35 minutes. Just because a match is 40 minutes doesn't mean that it's a 5-star match.
No, you said New Japan. I'm assuming you meant AEW, but also New Japan.
Yes. No, New Japan had that issue.
Yes, and I didn't mind it. That's the New Japan style, and AEW is the New Japan of America. Like that's the big influence here, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm okay with it. What do you want? Another WWE? Like they're so divergent.
No, I'm not saying copy that, but I'm just saying that's just how I feel. It's very whatever. Everyone can have their own opinion. But yeah,
well, still a hell of a show. a hella show. I don't know why they
I'm
put
indifferent with
Shivani
it.
back on commentary here and there.
Yeah, that was weird.
Walker Stewart was killing it. He sounds great with. I feel like he keeps Excalibur from having to like go babble really fast because there's another person kind of picking up the slack that's not a Taz or a Tony Schiavone, because Taz is great now, but he's not saying anything too deep. And Tony's fine, but we all know
he's in his own world.
Yeah. So they had a 4-man booth for a moment there. There's something else happened where I was like, whoa. And Nigel's just so fun. And like Nigel in there, like they need to do more with Nigel. Like he needs to like, I don't know. He's just so good.
He is. He's honestly my favorite out of everyone.
Yeah, and it's like he's so relaxed at AEW. Like his WWE commentary was like, he's like
WWE commentary, but it was WWE commentary.
But here, like this is like the whole. As somebody who does commentary regularly, and I don't know if you watched the last show that I just put out last week. If you watched it, like some of the shit I say during that show, I just fucking whatever. I don't even think. Even during the first match, I'm like, who are they facing? I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, Jesus. And then I was like, and we're here at Boom Shaka Lucha. And I'm like, I can't believe they let me do this shit. All right, let's go. Like no idea what's going on. Again,
kind of like this show.
Yeah, and Freddie Mercurio did something and did one of the matches. And I was like, I forgot. Before he's like, I don't know anything about these guys. And I was like, so go ahead. And then he was very blatantly during the match not knowing anything about these guys. I kind of like chastised him a little. Yeah, and I was just like, I guess I should not expect other people to be like me. Like I had no idea who anybody is, and I still freaking kick ass.
That's so funny. That is so funny.
But the atmosphere here was great because these guys really get along great, and it's like Nigel. Yeah. But let's wrap it up. Morris.
I was just going to say, we're on the road to All In starting tonight. We'll see where things go. Look, I'm excited for the road to All In. I'm excited for All In. I just thought that this pay-per-view was what it was. The entire weekend was what it was for me, right? At the end of the day. All right, Hutch, we've been talking here for more than an hour. Where can you find your beautiful work?
You can find me go to demandlucha.com. Go to demandlucha.com right now. You will see that you have links to all my stuff. You'll get the Hutch channel, the Demand Lucha channel. You're going to see some merch stores. You're going to get the Lucha Market where you can buy merchandise from Demand Lucha and tickets. You're going to see a bunch of stuff there, and you may even start getting clips of this show there. You never know.
There you go. Look at that. aplusproductions.com so you can find all the news from this show and so much more. Go to your favorite podcasting app, search for A Plus Wrestling, hit that subscribe, leave a review. We want you part of the conversation. Facebook.com and search for A Plus Productions. Hutch, as always, it has been a blast. It's been fun. It's been good. We've been talking wrestling for over an hour here on KPHR Hamilton and on YouTube.com at Hutch Henrys. Thank you so much for listening. On behalf of Hutch, myself, and everyone on A Plus Productions, thank you so much, and stay tranquilo.